Discipline is the key to freedom. Discipline, not motivation, changed my life. Motivation is like the wind. It comes, sometimes strong, sometimes gentle, but in the end it always changes, unpredictable. One day you feel full of energy, ready to conquer the world, but just a small incident, a negative comment, or simply a bad night's sleep, and all that motivation suddenly vanishes as if it never existed. On the other hand, discipline doesn't depend on feelings. It doesn't need you to be excited or inspired. It just needs you to make a decision and stick to it. No noise, no glamour. Discipline is what you keep when no one is cheering you on. It's an internal commitment you make to yourself with no need for validation from others. Jim Rohn, one of the masters of personal development, once said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." And no one understood this better than he did. From a salaried worker, he built a knowledge empire and global influence, starting by practicing discipline every day. Discipline starts with small things: getting up early, reading books, writing goals, doing work according to plan. Things that seem simple, but it's the regularity, the consistency of daily actions that truly make the difference between the successful and the dreamers. People without discipline often live by their emotions. They start with passion, but lack consistency. They set high goals, but are easily discouraged. They want quick results, but don't have the patience to go through the necessary journey. People with discipline live by commitment. They understand that emotions are temporary, but commitment is long-term. They don't let a morning rain ruin their workout plans. They don't let a rejection make them give up on their goals. They keep moving forward. No need for spotlight, no need for applause. Discipline is not self-limitation. On the contrary, it is the path to freedom. When you have discipline, you control your behavior, time, energy, and results. You are not dragged around by circumstances, but actively create the life you want. Some say, "I don't have natural discipline." But the truth is, discipline is not inherited. It's a skill, and skills can be trained. Like muscles, discipline develops when you work on it. Every time you resist temptation to focus on work, you are lifting weights for your willpower. Every time you say no to something that distracts you from your goal, you are strengthening your inner force. And bit by bit, you become stronger, not because you were born that way, but because you choose to live that way. You don't need to start with something big. Start tomorrow morning. Set your alarm to wake up on time. Don't hit snooze. When you open your eyes, write down 3 important things you need to accomplish today. Commit to finishing at least one before you check your phone. In the evening, sit down for 5 minutes and record what you did. Repeat for 7 days. You'll notice the difference, not in instant results, but in how you feel about yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, you build inner credibility. And that credibility is fuel for self-esteem, self-confidence, and the ability to lead yourself further. That's why people with discipline always have a special magnetism. They don't need to show off. They don't need to make excuses. Their results speak for themselves. Discipline is also the foundation of sustainability. While those who follow emotions often fall into the cycle, excitement, effort, burnout, give up, regret, start again, disciplined people create a stable rhythm. Act, maintain, adjust, accumulate, breakthrough. We live in a world that glorifies speed, but the truth is, consistency is what makes greatness. No one becomes a master overnight. No one builds an empire with just a few days of hard work. All lasting achievements are built on the foundation of discipline, one brick at a time. Discipline is not a shackle. It is the tool that helps you unlock your true potential. Because only when you can control yourself can you control your results. And only when you master yourself do you have the capability to lead others. In the world of successful people, discipline is not optional. It is a standard of living. And if you want to rise, you must start here. Not by adding more inspiration, but by adding more commitment. Not by doing more, but by doing more consistently. You may not be better than others. You may start later than others. But if you are more disciplined than they are, you will surpass them. Remember, every time you stick to your schedule, finish the right task, refuse the right temptation, you are not just acting. Thus, you are reprogramming your life. Discipline does not promise an easy path, but it guarantees a worthwhile result. And if you still doubt, ask anyone who has walked the great journey. They will tell you the same thing. It is discipline, not talent or luck, that is the deciding factor. Today is the time to start. No need to wait for inspiration. No need to wait for perfect conditions. Just take action. Take out a piece of paper. Write down a simple commitment. I will act with discipline every day to live a life I am proud of. Stick it somewhere you'll see every morning and live by it. Step by step, day by day. You won't realize how much you've changed until you look back 90 days later and see you have become a different person, stronger, more proactive, more trustworthy. Because a disciplined person is someone who is no longer passive toward life. They don't wait for luck. They don't wait for motivation. They create results. And from those results, they build a career, a life, and their own identity. That is the path you can choose too. Right now, right today. Your journey begins with discipline and will end with freedom. Personal discipline system, the foundation of all transformation. We have together clearly seen the true power of discipline, not as a limitation, but as the foundation of freedom. But that freedom does not arise naturally. It requires a clear, repeatable, sustainable inner structure. That is the personal discipline system. There is a simple truth that very few are willing to accept. Success does not come from inspiration. Success comes from systems. Inspiration is the initial energy, but it is the system that gets you to the finish line. Jim Rohn once said, "Your life changes when you redesign how you live each day." And the personal discipline system is exactly how you redesign your life. Think about it. Have you ever felt that you set so many goals, so many plans, but everything just slips through your fingers? How many times have you said, "I'll start next week," only to break that promise to yourself? That's not because you're lazy. It's because you don't have a system yet. A personal discipline system is not a complicated plan hung on the wall. It's a specific, repeatable daily behavioral structure that helps you maintain the right things, even on your worst days. A good system can be so simple. You don't have to think. You just act. Like brushing your teeth in the morning. Like drinking water whenever you're thirsty. Like turning off the alarm and immediately getting up. You don't need to ask, "Will I do it today?" You just do. The structure of an effective personal discipline system consists of 5 elements. 1. Fixed schedule. Decide on clear times for important tasks. Don't let your mind make decisions every day. The more automation, the less friction. 2. Keystone habits. Choose 2-3 behaviors that have the greatest impact on your personal growth, and prioritize maintaining them. For example, reading for 30 minutes, exercising for 15 minutes, writing goals each morning. 3. Measurement mechanism. Nothing gets improved if it's not measured. Record, track your progress, review weekly. Even a simple chart helps you spot behavioral trends. 4. Accountable commitments. Don't just keep promises in your head. Write them down, send them to a friend, hang them above your desk. The presence of commitment makes you act more seriously. 5. Clear rewards and penalties. If you complete your plan for 7 days, reward yourself. If you slip up, take away something you like, cut down on web surfing, donate to charity, etc. The mind reacts strongly to rewards and consequences. Remember, a system has no emotions. It only has logic. But because it has no emotions, it can function when you are tired, bored, confused, or under pressure. While inspiration can deceive you, the system does not. Someone with a disciplined system isn't perfect. They have bad days, get rejected, and want to give up too. But thanks to the system, they don't need enormous willpower to maintain their habits. They don't have to fight with themselves every morning. They just do it as a natural part. A simple system can change your life, but you need persistence and constant adjustment. If part of the system doesn't suit you, change it. If a habit no longer adds value, replace it. A good system is a living system, always evolving with you. Jim Rohn once emphasized, "Success is not a miracle. It is the result of simple things you do, consistently." So, don't wait until you're strong enough to build a system. Use the system to get stronger. You can't control life, but you can control your living structure. And when you take charge of your rhythm of life, you own the results. Discipline isn't just willpower. Discipline is design. If you find yourself often going off plan, procrastinating, or acting on impulse, stop. Don't blame yourself anymore. Redesign your system. You don't need to control everything. Just control what you repeat each day. And from those small things, your life will change dramatically. Act now. Write down 3 positive habits you want to maintain every day. Attach them to a specific time of day. For example, write down goals at 7 a.m. Commit to doing them for 7 days. Record each day whether you did them or not. Next week, review and adjust. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. And when the system becomes a part of who you are, you will no longer depend on inspiration, no longer struggle in chaos. You will act without hesitation. You will move forward without anyone pushing you. And that is true freedom. Facing the self. I am lazy, I procrastinate, I am afraid of failure. You don't need to defeat the world. You just need to defeat yourself every day. It is the procrastinating, weak, fearful self that is sabotaging every discipline you want to build. It's not that you don't have time. You're being dragged by yourself in the opposite direction, the direction of ease, of procrastination, of "I'll do it later." That's the lazy self that prefers comfort, the self that fears failure, so it makes excuses to avoid things, the self that shies away from responsibility, always blaming circumstances. Have you ever felt like that? Clearly knowing what needs to be done, clearly knowing it would be good for you, clearly knowing you should start right now, but you don't do it. Why? The quiet battle within you. There are 2 people living inside you. One wants change, wants to be disciplined, strong, persistent. One just wants to live easily, giving up, procrastinating, consoling oneself. This battle has no audience. No one sees you lose except you. No one hears your excuses except you. No one sees your silence and hesitation except you. And it is that very silence that is eating away at your dreams day by day. Procrastination is a self-sabotage strategy. You don't act not because you're not capable enough. You don't act because you're afraid to fail even if you try. So you procrastinate as a way to avoid facing disappointment. The paradox is, procrastination helps you avoid immediate failure, but guarantees long-term failure. Instead of facing it, you hit snooze. Instead of training, you turn on a movie. Instead of starting, you research a little more. Instead of going outside, you glue your eyes to the screen. All those small decisions come from oneself, the weak self. Discipline starts with facing yourself. You cannot build discipline if you don't accept that you have issues with yourself. You can't discipline yourself if you aren't willing to tell yourself the truth. The truth is, you procrastinate not because you don't have time, but because you don't manage your emotions. You aren't persistent, Not because you lack goals, but because you lack connection to why you need to achieve them. You are lazy, not because you don't know what to do, but because you're afraid the effort won't be good enough. It all stems from the core beliefs within. Rebuilding identity. Defeating the weak self. You don't change behavior by trying to force yourself. You change by becoming someone different from the inside. Jim Rohn said, "Work on becoming the person worthy of success instead of just chasing success." To do that, you need to name your weak self. Don't let it go invisible. Call it out. Write it down. Choose a new role for yourself, a disciplined, self-controlled, dependable person. Act every day as proof of your new identity. You don't need to feel it, just commit to it. The greatest victory is victory over yourself. You don't need to win today. You just need not to lose to yourself today. Get out of bed even when you're very sleepy. Work out even if no one is cheering you on. Work even if no one is forcing you. Write a page even if it's just one line. Every action is a vote you cast for your new identity. Every choice is a brick building the stronger version of yourself. And remember, success doesn't belong to the best. Success belongs to those who can defeat themselves each day. Rebuilding self-belief. Long-term mindset programming. Do you know what is most dangerous? It's not failure. It's not suffering. It's when you stop believing in yourself. You used to have dreams. You used to start things. You used to try. But then you encountered failure. You were rejected. You made mistakes. You slipped up. And instead of standing up, you started doubting yourself. When belief breaks, everything collapses. A person who no longer believes in themselves can't maintain discipline. They won't even start because they think, "I'll just give up again." They won't take action because they think it's probably not going to work out anyway. They won't dare to persist because they've failed before, and they've identified themselves with that failure. Does this sound familiar to you? You know you need to act. You know it's important, but you don't do it because you silently think, "It'll be just like the last few times. It's probably not going anywhere. I'll keep it up for a few days, then quit again." That's not a problem of methodology. That's a problem of core belief. Jim Rohn once said, "If you don't program your mind, someone else will do it for you." And most of us are living with an old program, installed from childhood, from past failures, from someone's criticism. And we believe it. You weren't born weak. You weren't born lacking discipline. You were programmed that way. Now it's time to erase the faulty program and rewrite yourself. How to reprogram your beliefs. No one can give you belief. Belief doesn't come from encouragement. Belief comes from evidence. If you want to believe in yourself, you need to create evidence every day that I am someone who keeps my word. I am someone who can be trusted. And the only way to achieve that, discipline. You set the schedule to wake up at 5:30, and you really wake up. You say you'll write every day, and you write even if it's just for 10 minutes. You say you won't eat sugar, and you keep that promise to yourself. Every one of those actions is a new piece of evidence you feed into your subconscious that I am someone who can control myself. I am trustworthy. I can achieve what I commit to. Build a new operating system for your life. Belief is not an emotion. Belief is an operating system, an invisible filter that controls every behavior, choice, and reaction in your life. The old operating system, I'm not good enough. I give up easily. I don't deserve success. The new operating system, I act regardless of emotions. I keep my word to myself. I deserve success because I work to be worthy of it. See the difference? To change your life, you have to rewrite the operating system in your mind. Change your identity, the origin of new strength. Every action you take stems from the identity you assign to yourself. If you think, I'm a procrastinator, you'll keep procrastinating. If you believe, I never maintain habits, you'll let them go after a few days. If you say, I'm lazy, I can't be persistent, you've just commanded your subconscious to surrender. Instead, rewrite it. I am someone with discipline. I keep commitments. I'm proud because I don't chase emotions. I do what's right. I build strong habits, bit by bit. I take action whether anyone sees or not. Write it down on paper, stick it on your mirror, read it every morning, and act so that everything you do reflects the person you want to become. Belief isn't something you pray for, it's something you build. You don't need anyone to believe in you. You just need you to believe in you. And the only way to rebuild self-belief is to start with small but consistent actions. You can start today. No need to wait for inspiration. No need to wait for perfection. Just start, and don't betray yourself. Every day you keep your word. You're rewriting your own destiny. Become trustworthy. Live a valuable life. You may have talent. You may have ambition. You may have knowledge, strategies, tools. But if you're not trustworthy to yourself, all of it is meaningless. The world does not reward those who know a lot. The world rewards those who keep promises to themselves. And if you can't trust yourself, who can? What the world is looking for: trustworthy people. In business, people do not look for the smartest person. They look for someone to whom they can delegate work without worrying. In relationships, people do not look for the most attractive person. They look for someone who can keep promises, isn't impulsive, and doesn't quit halfway. And with yourself, you don't need to be the best. You just need to be someone who you can delegate a goal to and trust that you will accomplish it. If you schedule an early wake-up, you get up. If you promise to work out, you exercise. If you say you'll stop eating sugar, you stop. You keep your word. You are trustworthy. You become a resilient individual, unshaken, undisturbed. You are yourself, resilient, stable, calm, in a crazy world. The secret of the wealthy: they never betray themselves. Jim Rohn once said, "Discipline is the foundation of all achievement, not inspiration, not motivation, discipline." Successful people don't stop feeling tired. They aren't always full of energy. But they act because of commitment, not emotion. They are the most trustworthy people in their own lives. You can become that kind of person. No need for innate talent. Just small actions done at the right time, in the right way, for the right reasons. Consequence: a valuable life. When you become trustworthy, others respect you more. You make decisions more easily. You have stronger self-esteem. You don't need to seek external validation because you have already recognized yourself. You don't need to put on a front. You don't have to show off, flaunt, or chase social standards. You live right. You live true. And you're proud to be yourself, a person with weight, with value. The danger of breaking promises: every time you break a promise to yourself, even a small one, you're eroding your own trust bit by bit. You tell yourself to eat clean, but then just one bite. You say you'll write today, but then get sucked into social media. You promise to sleep early, but then binge another episode. You think it's not a big deal, but your subconscious is recording it. I'm not trustworthy. I can't keep my word. Don't let that happen again. Start again from today. Become someone you're proud of. You can rebuild your credibility with yourself. You can start by keeping one small promise each day. Don't give up. Don't lie to yourself. Don't wait for someone else to supervise. You live for the most important person in your life, yourself. And when you become trustworthy to yourself, you are unstoppable. The inner strength no one can take from you. Pause and think. You have gone through 5 parts of this journey. You have faced the truth that motivation is emotion, discipline is a choice. Only systems can sustain results. Willpower doesn't come from waiting, it comes from action. Faith isn't praying, it is building. A valuable life doesn't come from luck. It comes from you becoming a person with weight. If you see that you have ever given up, if you are too familiar with procrastination, if you are tired of all those times you started, then quit. It's time to stop and begin once and for all. No need to wait for a new year. No need to wait for a full moon. All you need is to decide today, I will become trustworthy. I will act even when no one is watching. I will not live carelessly anymore. I will keep my word, even if that person is just me. Thank you for accompanying Bizmind Mastery. Rewatch this video whenever you want to rekindle your motivation for action. And if you're ready to move on, hit follow, subscribe, and leave a commitment below. Because the world does not need another person who just knows a lot. The world needs you, a person who keeps their word.